Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Know Your Purpose. I am Dr. Stacy Venable, and today we are going to have a great time with a great friend. We've been good and rocking and rolling for over a year now, so I'm trying to tell you, go get your pen, your paper, because we're going to be dropping a lot of jewels and nuggets. But first and foremost is some housekeeping rules that we have to embark on. This disclosure is out to everyone. These are our own views, our own purposes. We are not getting any information from anyone. This is stuff that we do for a living, and we just want to bring that knowledge to you as our viewers. Again, tonight, if this platform is not for you, it's not for you. If it's for you, please like, love, and subscribe, and make sure you stay tuned because our visitor tonight is going to be leaving all of her contact information for you to go back and view. So again, welcome tonight. We have Michelle Longus tonight, and she is on fire. I'm telling you, she's been a good friend of the Business Suites of Brass Mill. Michelle, I'm telling you, Michelle, you have just that great go get it attitude and that spirit, man.
Thank you.
You are really out here. And the thing about it is we have been all the last couple of weeks, the last couple of shows, we've been airing people that are out here, that are entrepreneurs, that know their purpose, that have thrived in it, that literally came from being, we talked about this off camera, came from being self-made to where we are.
Exactly.
And it's so big because within knowing your purpose, there are things that come alongside of people that they think that this is an easy task, and it really isn't. So tonight, well, again, we want to welcome our friend Michelle Longus. I want her to tell you viewers a little bit about herself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Stacy, for inviting me. She has been an inspiration to me. Like I said, ever since we met in the beginning, I always said, like she's the one, she's the real deal. And when I first met you, it was like interview. She wanted to know my purpose then. So I had to tell her on the spot what my purpose was.
Absolutely.
So I am a real estate, a realtor, real estate agent. I'm a realtor with EXP Realty. I also have my own tax business called Tax Matters LLC, and my real estate business is called Making Moves with Michelle. And I've started my entrepreneurial journey in October of 2020. I made that decision to go ahead, get out here, do it, make it happen, and see what I can do. And I've loved it ever since. Like, it's better than any 9 to 5, going to go pour into someone else's business, to pour into my own business. It's so rewarding. And no, it's not instant gratification.
It's work.
It's work. And I'm still in the beginning stages because 2020 wasn't that long ago.
No, it was not.
2020 was like the beginning of the pandemic. I think everybody was trying little different things to see what was going to work for them. And I just thank God that I found what was going to work for me.
I thank God for that as well, because I noticed with the 2020, a lot of people thought that these were businesses, and they really weren't businesses that they were pursuing. They were hobbies. And now they're finding out that they're hobbies. And now they're like, oh my goodness, because it was never a part of their vision. Exactly. And they didn't, being stuck inside without a lack of anything. And a lot of people had a lot of time to sit and think about what they wanted to do. Right. Some people said, you know what, it's just a hobby and I'm over it. Other people like you have decided this was always a part that was instilled in me. Right. You have an extensive background though.
Yes. So, taxes are my baby. That's my first thing. And I'm so mad at myself. And like I was telling someone the other day, I wish I would have started my tax business sooner. But it must have wasn't my time.
And even though we know things, but we still have to fulfill those purposes. And maybe at that time, that wasn't a fulfillment that needed to be fulfilled. This is your winning season. I am following you, by the way. I always have. But I'm starting to see houses, and when we get off of here, we're going to have a conversation. Definitely. But I'm starting to see for closings and then like you putting stuff up there where you're settling. And I'm like, wait a minute. Let me follow her. Let me stay with her.
It's all about taking the action. You have to take the action because working for yourself is not like working for someone else. You're not going to see any results if you just expect for business to come to you. You have to go get that business.
I think in this generation, in this day and time, people are not. I just had a conversation today. I was down getting my a windshield on my car tinted, a rocket hit it. And, you got to wait for the windshield and all that good stuff. And I was just speaking to a gentleman. We were just chopping it up in D&L tinting. And he said, Doc, one of the things that I can say is no one wants to work anymore. We have to literally work for what we want.
Exactly.
And it's not always going to be a 9 to 5. Entrepreneurship is not a 9 to 5 business.
Nope.
Because I haven't had a 9 to 5 day in a long time. And the only time I have 9 to 5 days is if I've had some type of surgery and they make me sit down.
Okay, yeah.
They make me sit down.
They making me
sit down. Because again, I say this on every platform. Entrepreneurship isn't for everyone.
Right.
But when you find your grind in it, when you find your niche in it, that's what you need to make sure you still moving. And evidently you have done just that.
And I didn't know my purpose. Well, I thought I knew my purpose, but I really didn't find my purpose until I started doing the business. Because what my purpose was initially is not what my purpose is now. I was thinking small at first.
When nothing's ever small.
I was thinking real small. Now I feel as though I'm thinking on a bigger scale. Where
how'd you get there?
Because I needed to know why. I found my why. Why?
We were going to talk about that. Let's talk about that, because that's one of the things that I was going to discuss tonight. Finding your why. So let's talk about it now.
Okay. So I think everybody would agree that when we first start, the why is the money.
Yes.
The why is the money.
And we think that that's the most important thing, but literally the why is not, it doesn't have anything to do
I can't even get to the money without knowing my why.
Without knowing why.
So in my why, a lot of people say, it's for their children or it's not for anyone outside of myself. My why is not, it makes me feel good to help other people.
Wow.
So it's what made me feel good. It makes me feel good to change people's mindset and to know that this is obtainable.
Oh, that's a nugget. That's a nugget that people have to write down, because I'm always on a platform talking about changing your mindset. I just told someone today, one of my new clients came in, and I explained to him the 3 ways to being successful in the entrepreneurship business. The first one is to change your mindset, because if you think for a moment that things are going to remain the same, you're stuck there.
Right.
And there are some times where we have to humble ourselves and revamp what we already started, or we have to even leave that alone altogether and go up to a whole different avenue. The second thing is only quality people get to live in your space, because that's that support system that you have to build. So sometimes you may have to even let a lot of people go.
Build your tribe.
To build your tribe. Yes, to build your tribe. And the last thing, when you are Michelle Longus and you walk out there with your realtor name, you need to understand that that's your brand, and you have to communicate effectively, because they are not just looking at you. They're looking at you and your brand and you and your business at that point.
Exactly.
So you can't go out here on a falsified platform, because people see right through that.
Right, exactly. They'll find out. They'll know.
Oh, yeah.
You don't think they looking. They looking.
So don't go out there and just say, okay, I'm just going to do this job to get all these views and all these likes and all this other stuff, but then you're really not doing the job.
Right. Show and prove.
So show and prove. Another nugget, show and prove. So how did you get to that point where you had to show that and prove? Because I remember you when we met a little while ago, taxes was one of the things that you were getting ready to get into heavy. So how did you go from the tax to the why to now the realtor of you?
Because it's all hand in hand.
Yeah.
People who get a refund, 90% of people's refund are going towards a down payment on a home, some type of invest. That's sometimes their only chance to get that big lump sum. In order to invest that into their future. So it all went hand in hand. I was able to educate about, their taxes and what type of investments and what to do to help you benefit from your refund, not just a waste, not just something, I'm going to go buy the latest sneakers or, I'm getting a car every tax season. No, do something with that's going to benefit you.
Absolutely.
In your family, So, my mind came my mindset, my purpose came from not only just changing my mind. I had to change my mindset on in order to change my clients' mindset
Yes,
on
you
things.
always have to start with you. That's one of the biggest things in knowing your purpose and knowing that
Mhm.
you were created one. You always have to start with you. Because if you're not out here in the right frame and you're not doing the right things, that then piggybacks into your clients.
Right. Right.
So that's just one of the bigger pictures. But I remember way back when I was younger and I got my income taxes. My mom used to always say, always get something with your income taxes to where you know where your money went.
Exactly.
I'd be like, let me get me a new TV. I'm gonna get me a new living room set, and I'm gonna get this and that. And then when I remember when I turned 24 and we bought my ex-husband and I bought our first house.
Mhm.
We saved all year long, but we knew income tax time is when we were really gonna make it happen.
Exactly.
So that knowledge that you're giving to people, because people are kids, well, I won't say kids, young adults are buying houses
Oh
in
yes,
their
I
younger
love
ages
it.
now. They're like, I'm
Yes.
not doing that rent thing.
Right.
I'm not doing that rent thing.
They
My son
should.
told me the other day, he was, I'm saving because I just want to buy. I don't want to do no rent stuff.
Exactly.
I just want to buy.
Then when I was 24, I wasn't thinking like that.
Oh man, when I was
But
24,
they are
yeah.
thinking like that, and
Yeah.
I'm loving it
Yeah.
because I'm looking up to them. You know,
It's nothing wrong with it. I learned something from my children every day. And the thing about it is changing your mindset. You have to be willing to learn from them as well.
Yes. Yes.
Another piece of changing your mindset. So within that, then you got into, like I said, taxes to the real estate. But I love the way you combine the both of them
Yes.
because there was a need for it.
Yeah, and I see that it all is hand in hand. And sometimes we just have to break cycles.
Yes.
So
Yes, I had a lady on my girlfriend Keisha. I want to shout out to my girl, Miss Keisha, Miss Chat and Chew. One of the things I was talking to her about is I made a comment about a generational curse. She said, "Don't say that." She said, that was a generation foundation that was laid for us.
Oh, I like
Don't use that word curse, because that was something that was laid for us, something that we had no control over. So we are now breaking cycles.
Right.
We're breaking cycles, because I know when I was 24, I did buy my first townhouse. But how many young people do that?
Right.
They still staying at home with mom. They still in the basement.
And a lot of us are encouraging that. Stay home
stay
as long
home
as
as
you
long
can.
as you can. I just don't want to throw that out there. I have said that to my 24-year-old, but I didn't really mean it. I didn't really mean
I
it.
say learn early, make all the mistakes early.
Absolutely, so I can help you early on. But yeah, he's still home. But the good thing about he's still home, but he's saving towards.
Okay.
A lot of people don't want to do that saving towards piece.
Right.
Give us some nuggets on how we should be saving within our tax brackets and things like that, how we should be saving to get that down payment.
Right. Okay. So a lot of things that people need to be doing first is they need to be paying their taxes up front. It's a pay as you go system. It's not pay at the end of the year and then and then get penalized and then have interest on top of that. Then you can't pay it. Then you get your wages gone. My job is to keep you off of that. I was a revenue officer. I worked for the IRS for 10 years, and my last position was a revenue officer, and it was the most negative position that I can hold. And I say that because I didn't feel like anything I was doing to people was positive.
That's positive. Yeah.
I was levying bank accounts. I was summoning. I'm garnishing your wages. I'm coming to your house. I'm seizing your assets. I'm interrupting your space.
Right.
I'm not invited, but they say when you don't pay your taxes, you invite the government to you.
Hey, let's drop that nugget. When you don't pay your taxes, you're inviting the government to you.
Right.
So let's write that down. So if you're out here and you started a business and you think Uncle Sam ain't gonna find out because you just selling a little bit here and selling a little bit there and e-commerce and all that, no, you're wrong.
They coming.
And the funny thing about it is they may not come. What do you say? May not come when you want them,
right?
But they always come on time.
Yep.
It's when you least expect it.
Exactly. And I say that to a lot of people too. I say, they're not gonna come this year. They're not gonna come next year. But the third year, they're gonna come. They're gonna come.
What about now? I'm starting to see a lot of people do these businesses, and they're putting stuff online for sale,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not they have their EINs, but they haven't registered. And they steady selling stuff. They don't think that IRS is going to catch up to them.
They don't think that people are watching, and they don't think that income is being reported.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're taking PayPal, if you're taking Cash App, if you're taking Zelle, if you're taking those things, it's being reported. That's a paper trail.
It is.
It's a paper trail.
It is.
And they keep spreadsheets, or they keep this information because they're required to. They're required to keep this to provide that information to the government. So unless you're paying cash online, which I don't think people can do.
No, I don't know.
It's being tracked. It's being so I don't care what you put in the memo line of it. They're going to notice a pattern, and they're going to know, and people are going to put what they're purchasing. And even if they don't, once it reaches a certain amount, they're required to report it.
And that's the thing that I literally don't get, because you have business coaches out here that are willing to help you. You have tax consultants out here that are willing to help you. I literally, I was on a page a couple of weeks ago, and this person is selling stuff. And I said, take that down. I said, because once you go social media now, it's public.
Exactly.
So just because you don't think that no one's caught up to you, but one day you're going to go to that mailbox and there's going to be a letter in there.
Exactly.
And then they tell me, well, I only sold a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Anything you sell, can you help me with this? Anything that you sell, Uncle Sam wants a piece of.
Exactly. They want a sales tax. They want their money. And here's another piece. Why wouldn't you want to report it? Because I'm sure there's an expense related to that income.
Nugget right here.
I'm sure there's an expense related to that.
People think that if I'm out here and I'm selling something, and what it is they're enjoying the luxury of getting that money. But you had a cost to make those things happen, because they think, well, you know what, but I got paid this amount. But sir, ma'am, you put out money to have this orchestrated, to have it happen. So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, because I'm starting to see a trend here.
And
I don't care if it's a lip gloss company, to a t-shirt company, to a shoe company. If you're out here and you are selling things, what should they do?
Legitimize their business. Put it on paper.
Okay. That's
a real business.
That is a real legit business. And as you know, when you first met me, I don't play as business coach, and I don't play,
right?
Because I wanted to know your purpose as soon as I met you. Like, well, wait a minute, what's going on here, sis? Let's sit down. Let's talk about this, because that's another part of having that only quality support team.
Right.
You have to find a good business coach. You have to find a good tax consultant. You have to find a good accountant.
Exactly.
Because after a while, because I'm thinking big. I think only big. I had somebody tell me, "Oh, you and your small little podcast." Oh, it ain't gonna be small long.
Oh no,
because
they don't know you.
Because you don't know who I am. But growth is my thing. I want to do that. I want to do that till the day I go home. Grow. But it alarms me, because people are not thinking
right. And that's part of thinking big. They're thinking about hiding their money, but you get so many more benefits if you let them know that I'm making money.
I let someone know today, there is penalties to these things.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
There are penalties. Can you talk about that a little bit? There are penalties to you guys that are out here at the little lemonade stands. I love children. Don't get me wrong. I love them babies at the lemonade stand. Be careful with those too. To the people that are out here selling things, as far as, like I said, as far as shoes and t-shirts and accessories and CMOS and all these things that they've thought about through the COVID, but they're not legitimizing it.
Right.
Can you tell them what their downfall could be? Because I'm a business coach, and I'm out here screaming.
So if they find out that you're making income, or if there's income reported to them that you aren't reporting, then what they're going to do is they're going to file. And when I say they, I mean the Internal Revenue Service. They're going to file a tax return for you based on the information that they received that was reported to them. So you didn't report anything. So they're not giving you any expenses or deductions because you didn't report it. Why would they give it to you? So you're getting taxed at the highest tax rate.
Oh my gosh.
No deductions, no expenses.
So that's $600 you made.
Was
Oh,
it-
oh,
Then, after they file it, they're going to assess you a penalty for not filing. Then they're going to assess you another penalty for not paying.
that's a
Then
lot
they're
of
going to
penalty
charge you interest on a daily basis.
for you not paying. That's the nugget we're dropping here, which you're not paying. Go ahead.
Until it gets to an absorbent amount.
Mm-hmm.
And then here comes the revenue officer knocking at your door. And now you're in collections. Now you risk losing your business.
Mm-hmm.
However your business is classified, I don't care if you're an LLC, because a lot of people think that because you're set up as a limited liability company, the IRS does not recognize LLCs.
They do not.
You are considered a corp, or you are considered a sole prop.
I have been screaming that for a minute now, but no one's listening to me.
You're liable.
You're liable.
You're liable.
Hey, let's cut to the chase. You're liable. You're liable.
So you're not protected.
Mhm.
It still can hit you as an individual. Some people believe they can, shut down one business, start up another. It's still going to catch up with you.
Mhm.
Just do it the right way.
And you know what? My thing is, I keep telling people, Michelle, revamping and going back and fixing things costs too much when you can literally do it the right way.
Exactly.
I want to talk a little bit about these EINs.
Okay.
A lot of people think that that's all they have to have. They have to register their businesses. They have to do all these things. But just because you have an EIN, does that give you the ability to start selling stuff?
No.
I knew the answer to that. I wanted someone of clarity to give that formal information, because I had someone in my office a couple weeks ago. But I have an EIN. I'm registered with e-commerce. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What was your purpose for getting the EIN?
But not registering the business.
Then
you're not a business.
Right. Yeah.
We have a professional tax consultant here tonight letting us know. And if you're out, she's letting us know that that's not a business. You, just because the IRS gave you an EIN, but you're operating illegitimately at this point, exactly. You're not a business. And she just gave 5 powerhouse reasons why you're not, and what they're going to come to do to you. Mm-hmm. So if you are operating in that manner, I would ask you right now to stop. Make sure that, because if you had enough time to think up this business and this business plan, don't lose it on the little things and trying to get around.
The little things need to be part of your business plan.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The little things is what gets you to the big. And that's what I mean by instant gratification. Nobody wants to do the little things because it takes too much time, or it takes years.
It does. It does. It does. Literally, it does.
So yeah, you have to do the little things to get to the big picture.
But that's why the IRS gives us so much depreciation time, because they know that it's going to take years. But my concern is, you're out here and you're making this money, but literally on a tail, and you're not going to make it because it's going to cost you way more. Exactly. So for the $35 you got for a shirt that you didn't report,
it's not even worth it.
You just told us this could be penalty for this, penalty for that, penalty. Then you might as well not even sold shirt,
right? Because you might not report one $35 shirt, but you're going to get addicted to not reporting, and someone else is going to report it.
And now I'm what I'm understanding, Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, they have really got strict about it.
Yes.
Because the government has came down on them. Like, the other day they hit me with a notice that I could only send so much money a month.
Oh wow! Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Because the government has caught up.
Because the government has caught up. And the thing about it is, of course, we're opening up our executive suites across the street. Yes. And I didn't realize. I said, I just paid the contractors. I said, well, how you guys want me paid? It was like, you can Zelle, you can Venmo, you can Cash App. So I did that.
Right.
And I didn't know there was a limit to the day. Like, I didn't know all of that. So I said, wow. So the federal government is like, okay, we're going to put some limitations on you guys. And the sad part about that is, a lot of times they put limitations when people have broke the rules.
Right. Exactly. And they've caught on to it.
So one of the other things I want to talk to you about is finding your purpose with, the ability to connect with people. Because I know sometimes being a business coach, just me trying to connect with them. You came to me for the purpose to help you. but then I'm trying to get you to connect.
Right.
How do you do it? Because you see plenty more people in this real estate business just trying to get, because you got them picky people that want to buy them houses. Oh, you went sent them to 50,000 houses and they went back to the first house they looked at.
Yes.
I was one of them people. I'm just
yes.
one of those people.
Oh, that's how
you probably
know.
You probably would not. We probably wouldn't even be friends. You'd be like, you know what? I'm going to go and get this house done for her. That's it.
Right. I'm done.
Don't text me. Don't call me. When you see me at the grocery store, I'm going the other way. So how do you keep that connection, even with those people who are just, I just want to be honest, know-it-alls and know more than you? It's hard sometimes.
Right. I let them know it all. I let them know more than me. I don't shoot them down. Mm-hmm. I don't, give them anything negative.
Because it's their purpose.
Exactly.
It's their house. Yeah.
And they want someone to hear what they have to say.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of me going into it like I'm trying to make a sale or I'm trying to, people don't want to feel like you're trying to just make money from them, and that's their only purpose.
Right.
So you kind of have to know your audience. You have to know your clients, and you have to, you honestly got to sometimes like them. If I don't like you, it's not going to be a good. I don't think I should work with you. So
it's just not going to work.
I deal with those people I deal with people in the communication with them by first and foremost listening to what they have to say to know what they want.
Right. You have to adapt to your audience.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that within being a business coach, you have to adapt to that person. But one thing I don't do is if I can't suit your purpose, then I'm wasting time.
Exactly.
How do you feel about that?
I agree. I feel as though we're wasting both parties. I'm wasting my time, and it's not fair for any party. So before I waste your time, I'd rather refer you out to someone else.
My exit strategy has been, sis, let me tell you, my exit strategy, I have learned how to mock that thing. I can almost sell it, because I feel like if I'm your business coach and I've gotten to a complacent place with you to where I can't take you any further in what you want to do, maybe it just wasn't a good fit.
Right.
And you have to exit that, because gravitating to your audience and making sure you captivate them is why they stay or why they refer people and things of that nature. And sometimes I know you started this business at the hardest time forever through this COVID season, so the people, you had to do a little bit extra to keep them.
Yep.
Because then people really counting them coins, and they really trying to figure out if they, this is this, because we all want to capitalize off of what we do in our purpose. But when it's not a good fit, sometimes even with the money, it's not worth it.
Sometimes you'll lose
more
trying to get this big deal.
Absolutely.
You will come out of pocket and lose because you're money chasing. Your money, and instead of people chasing to benefit someone or to make, I don't just want to capitalize. Right. I want them to capitalize off of their investment.
I tell people, I tell people this all the time. We all need financial wealth, but I would rather you walk away with the knowledge of wealth. So that way you can make another dollar versus just making that $20,000. I want you to walk away knowing what you're doing. So if somebody try to come and tell you something different, no, because I already know that. And that's why this show is so important, knowing your purpose, because if you know what you're doing and you've been advised, it captivates you and it holds you, but not everything is about the money aspect of it. I've been an educator forever, okay? And that's one of the things that we do here at the Business Suites at Grass Mill. We bring informative information to our community, and we bring it through people like you, people that we've had on the prior shows, people like myself. If we don't know it, we try to go and find it and try to figure it out for you. But just knowing that that's why I knew from the beginning we were going to connect, because it's not about the money for us.
Right.
I mean, granted, we're out here, we're hungry, we're greedy, we need to eat too. But we want people to walk away with the knowledge of wealth and how to maintain it.
I'm big on education.
Keep it, because 1 minute you're up, it could be a quick second that you're down.
Exactly.
And by not doing these tax preparations and not doing the right things within getting these businesses and getting them registered, it can bring you to your downfall.
Yes. And you work hard to build. And a lot of times I say this, people know their craft. They know their skill. They know how to do, they know how to sell houses, but they don't know how to report the income. They don't know what deductions to take. They don't know that. So sometimes you don't know. So you have to hire someone to do it. But I say better yet, don't just hire someone to do it, because I offer all of my clients consultations, free consultations,
That is
so that they
amazing.
know how to do it themselves.
I give everyone, as you know, a free consultation with me.
Yes,
Because again, you have to know if I'm the right fit for you too.
absolutely.
Because sometimes it's just not the right fit. Sometimes it's just not about me being right or them being right and me being wrong. Sometimes it's just not it's not a good fit. What it does is it allows me to refer them out or allows them to exit stage left before we have to even come into that type of relationship. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So the consultation is really, really, really important. Don't just go with anyone.
Right.
Take a few consultations.
Right. That's what it's for. They don't get that. They think that consultation is to sell you something.
Yeah.
It's the consultation is pretty much a two-way interview.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said,
Absolutely.
to know, is this a good fit?
Yeah,
Are the vibes
absolutely.
good? Can we work
And you know
together?
what? You literally may have to, with my business coach, I literally sat down with him for the free consultation. And I called him up and said, you know what? I didn't get all what I needed. You know, he was like, well, you know what? You know, the next one I'm going to have to pay for. Sometimes you're going to be all right.
But you wanted more.
But I wanted more.
You wanted more.
I wanted more. And then when I felt like I was capable of moving forward without him, I thanked him for his services. But I can send him a message right now.
Right.
Because he knows he educated me far enough. So but the first step is being educated.
Right.
Because if you knew how to go buy that house, they wouldn't be calling me.
What they need me for. Right.
So humbling yourself and asking for that pit peeve called help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to humble yourself, because I tell people all the time, millionaires and billionaires didn't get there by themselves.
Right. No.
I
can't do either one of my businesses by myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we talked tonight about that support system and how important it is to have that support system. Staying connected to your passion.
Yes.
And your goals. How are you doing with that?
I'm doing good with that because I see the results behind what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I said, what I'm doing, it makes me feel good to now know that, okay, this fellow over here, he can walk with conviction. He know he can get into this house now. Wow. Like, you know, and I've given him a purpose.
I was going
to
say, wow, it's so amazing when you know that. I had a gentleman in my office today, and he called me back because I gave him homework. You know, I always give homework. I gave him some homework, and I met with him a little after 12. And he was back on my phone at 4:00. Hey, Doc, I didn't do what you said. I said, well, I gave you a whole week. He said, I just couldn't. My drive was right there. Like, I just couldn't let it go.
Right.
You know, I was so excited. He said, I've been smiling since I left your office. You know how that made me feel?
Exactly.
Because my week ain't been, you know, we get to points where our weeks ain't been the greatest, you know, because we're constant. But that literally made me feel good. He's a younger guy. And I believe in what he's doing. Exactly. And he said, I haven't stopped smiling since I left there.
That's wonderful.
I can hear the smile through the phone. Right. And I said, you know, your homework wasn't due until next Friday. He said, I didn't put nothing off. I said, that right there makes me want to work 10 times harder. The action. Okay. Right. And he's a new client. But when I have a new client versus an old client versus somebody's, I give them all the same type of passion. Exactly. Because I would want that passion for me. Right. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I've seen by following you, that you give that. You give that. I'm
serious about it. And it's like I said, it is up to y'all. I just feel as though people gotta. It's just, and it's once you give them something else to see other than what they've been seeing, it's all about exposure. Once I can expose you to something outside of the norm, then you know it's possible. But you didn't know it was possible.
I love that, the exposure piece. And sometimes when I'm sitting behind that desk and I'm trying to tell someone, hey, you have to do X, Y, and Z, and that's a good thing. I'm gonna start using that. I'm giving you the exposure that you need, not just giving you the nuggets that you need to take. I like that word. I'm giving exposure because I've been there. I know where I'm going. I know where I've been. Exactly. I'm just trying to get you. You don't even have to come along. You can walk on your own avenue, because finding my journey was crazy.
Right.
I was telling you coming over here to the studio, I wanted to be a hairdresser.
Right.
I wanted to be a whole lot of things. I see you have a criminal justice background as well.
Yes.
I have a criminal justice background. Neither one of us are there.
Right, exactly.
So it's great to have that vision board, but it's also great to know that even though I'm not in those fields anymore, it was great. It was great exposure.
It made me who I am.
Exactly. So tonight we want people to gravitate and understand that when you're starting your businesses, you want to do them right. You don't want to wait for that IRS moment to say, oh my gosh. And then you got this letter in the mail and they're not answering their phones. And you now at the point you're scared at this point. Fear doesn't work with entrepreneurship.
It's not for you if it do.
Thank you. It's not for you if you do. And another thing, stop setting yourself up for the failure. Stop setting yourself up for the failure. And just do it the right way.
Exactly. You can't blame anyone else.
And that's one of the things I heard you say, just get going and do it the right way.
Right.
So tonight we've had Michelle Longus on. She has dropped plenty of good jewels on us tonight. If there's any questions, comment, feedback, or if you want to just reach her personally, can you give us some information if you just want to reach her personally?
Yes, you can contact me. My number is 443-990-2343. My website is makingmoveswithmichelle.com. No www in front, just makingmoveswithmichelle.com. And I work all 50 states, real estate and taxes, all 50 states.
This is amazing. So we're just not looking for the DMV. All 50 she does.
Exactly.
All 50 she does. Michelle is a great friend of ours here at the Business Suites at Brass Mill. So if you want to call the Business Suites at Brass Mill, we know how to get a hold of her. She is one of our #1 top fans, and she has supported the Business Suites at Brass Mill since we've met. We met over a cupcake. That is the greatest way, and I've never forgotten it. Food is just a luxury to my heart. It just makes everything thrive, especially a cupcake.
I see.
And I'm telling you, I was hungry that day.
But I have a testimony for you.
Please bring it.
I did the pop-up event. Brass Mill had its grand opening. It had just started. I came out with my real estate business. I came in with my sign-in sheet. And I can say that was my first pop-up that I had been to. And I got my first listing client from that.
Wow,
pop-up.
look at that.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So
that's amazing.
She's my good luck charm.
Thank you so much. Let me tell you something. I am always humble. I think being humble just makes everything fit right when you're in entrepreneurship. And not only that, the Rolodex of friendship.
Yes.
Because I know right now, my Facebook page got hacked and she was looking for me.
I was stalking her. I was stalking
she was stalking me. So I had to go back down through my page and say, wait a minute, who did I forget? I had over almost 2,000-3,000 people, so, but you know what, a good thing about that, my testimony about that, it gave me a chance, even though I didn't like that it happened to me. Mm-hmm. It gave me a chance to clean up some things. As I was looking at the numberage of people, it made me realize, are those quality people?
Right.
Do I want to keep that?
Do they deserve to be in your space?
Do they deserve to be in my space? You got to keep a couple of them little haters around. You got to keep them around so they go run tell everything. And then you did, but the majority of them that are on my page are quality people that I know are going to support me. You don't have to always support people financially. Right. You can support people by sharing their posts. Absolutely. By embarking on their posts, congratulating them, giving them encouragement to keep moving forward. And I encouraged somebody the other day, and he inboxed me and said, now this guy is all the way out in Los Angeles. And I said, keep doing big things. You got people watching. He said, Doc, thank you so much. That came at a time that I needed it. Yeah. You never know when someone needs that encouraging piece. So you telling me that made my heart just go wow, because it made me feel like this is what I'm here for. Right. Regardless if you hear it then or a year later, this is what and you got a great start there. Yes. And you hit the ground rolling with that. I'm trying to tell you, because I am watching her. I'm like, what? I see a pop-up, Michelle did what? Michelle, what? This is how we doing it, sis? I am ecstatic. I'm excited for where you're going. I love being a part of your journey. And if there's ever anything, of course, here at the Business Suites at Brass Mill, we can do for you. You know, you already got that.
Yes,
That's
yes.
just a phone call. So tonight we rekindled because we haven't seen each other.
Yes, it's been a minute.
With that COVID going on and all that good stuff, but it's good to know that I still can call her friend. I can still call her for business. It's so great to build that friendship and business relationship. They go hand in hand with one another. But tonight, I hope you guys have got those nuggets and wrote them down. If you haven't, go back and make sure you listen. Give her a call. If you just have a question about something, give her a call. Tax season is upon us. Everybody's about to get those big checks back. If you don't know what to do with yours and how to work it, she can help you with that too.
And I'm open all year long, not just for tax season.
All year long. So it's just not like H&R Block. They just gonna close after a certain season, or Jackson Hewitt, and you gotta call.
Wait till next year.
Oh, you gotta call. Because I remember one time I lost my little tax papers. I had to call and wait a whole whatever it is. She's open all year. All year. How are you doing with, last question, how are you doing with also just consulting with people for their next journey and what they need to do with their taxes?
Even better. People love tax planning. People want to do right. They just don't know. So that part is really going better than preparation. Not to say I'm making more money with that than preparation, but what I'm doing is a better cause, and I see how I'm helping people.
Yes, and that's one of the things that drew Michelle and I together, is the purpose of the fact that we want to help people. And we want to see people succeed. This is our winning season, but as we're winning, we're bringing people to the circle with us. It's lonely at the top, but there's plenty of room for all of us on the platform. And that's what I want to leave us here with tonight. If you have any questions, let us know. The Business Suites at Brass Mill is expanding. We have our new executive suites opening in May. We have a few offices left. We have plenty of offices here at the Business Suites at Brass Mill. Not too many left at our executive office.
Oh, good.
Not too many left there, but we do have some available. We have wonderful conference space. A lot of people calling for conference space for closings. We have that available to you. We have our podcast studio available to you. We have our photography studio available to you. We have our lounge available to you.
Everything.
So we've grown since you've seen us.
I know it's a one-stop shop.
It's a one-stop shop now.
I'm loving it.
We are doing well. We invite you to come. We have our senior program every Tuesday. So if you have a senior or a loved one, this needs to get out and do some fun things every Tuesday from 11 to 2. Our seniors in the building, we cook with them. We have a reading club with them. We do arts and crafts with them. So we want to just, Business Suites at Brass Mill is on the map. And thank you guys so much for allowing us to be on the map and supporting us. Tonight, Michelle Longus, make sure you get in touch with her. We are going to end this broadcast. Is there anything you want to end with?
Thank you, Stacey.
You are
wonderful.
You are more than welcome. And we're going to definitely have her back again on the show, because she's going to come back and tell us how she did through the tax season.
Oh, yes. Follow my journey.
And follow her journey. And if there's anything new going on in the tax world, we're going to bring her back so she can explain to us how to keep our businesses thriving, small businesses and large businesses. Okay. Small personal taxes to big stuff. She's going to keep us informed and keep us ready. So tonight, we thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you guys again next Friday with another guest with some more exciting news and how to keep and find your purpose.